Logic and Larry listeners, man, how are you guys? I hope you're hanging tough through the heat wave. You know, I'm on my little August hiatus, but I just, I had to say my piece about something very basic. And so if you're missing Logic and Larry and you're missing, what I'm doing, number one, we'll be back after Labor Day. That's number one. And political action, Sean Bracken's going to be back. We're going to talk about the midterm elections. We got a lot of things to talk about. We're going to have a lot of guests. I've already talked to some of them. So I'm coming back. I'm out here. I'm still out here. You can catch me posting on social media. You can catch me out here. I got a interview coming out with Bobby Krills for the Heart of the City podcast. That's really dope. And I continue to work on mixing my album, to get that right. But I just had to speak this week on this search of Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence, only because, forget politics. Completely throw politics out the window. Throw your political persuasion, throw whatever side you're on, throw it all out the window. I still just cannot stomach absolute inobjectivity, the absolute lack of objective logic in this society, specifically with regard to politicians and their mouthpieces in the media. I can't take it. First of all, everything I say in this podcast is strictly 100% my opinion, me speaking to you as a private citizen, Larry Crane, that's it, in my own home, on my own time. Nothing I say reflects the opinion of any other entity or any other person. But listen, Trump got searched. He had a search warrant executed at his home. He called it a raid, and that's how they're characterizing it. It's unlikely that it was an actual, forceful raid. We don't know the details. Let me explain something to you. In order to get a search warrant on somebody's home, especially a former president, you have to go high up the ranks of the FBI to get approval, high up the ranks of the Attorney General's office, and then you have to get a federal judge to agree with probable cause. So you put forth an affidavit of probable cause as a law enforcement officer that there is probable cause to believe that there is something to be found in Trump's residence that's evinctive of a crime. And the federal judge has to agree with you and then sign it and then be subject to ridicule. And that judge knows that what he's signing is going to be subject to criticism because it's Trump. And those officials in the FBI, which, by the way, Christopher Wray of the FBI was appointed by Donald Trump. That's not a Biden appointee. None of this has to do with Biden or the White House. They have nothing to do with this. It's not how it works. They go, they get the probable cause, they search the house. Now, this was the investigation pertaining to the National Archives. The law is clear. The law is clear that you, as a president, must turn over official documents to the National Archives. That's by law. It's already been known that Trump did not properly turn over everything he was supposed to the National Archives, hence why they already carried out 15 boxes from the National Archives. But what I find insane is all of these Republican right-wing pundits and all of these people out here, all of a sudden saying our country's in trouble, there's a coup, our republic is in danger, turn the American flag upside down as Marjorie Taylor Greene posted. Oh my God, there's a crisis, this is a coup, we've got to retaliate against the Department of Justice, how dare they, infringe on a free country and our rights. They're saying that over a validly procured search warrant pursuant to a legitimate, viable investigation into an infraction pertaining to an actual federal law. They're saying that the country's in danger of being overturned, that the rule of law doesn't exist anymore. Yet, these same people watching evidence after piece of evidence of the actual former president, Donald Trump, actually attempting to actually overthrow an actual free election outside the purview of what's legal, outside of any probable cause. In fact, they tested probable cause that the election was fraudulent many times, and they failed every time, even in Republican-led investigations, who tried to have fraudulent fake electors overturn the election for them, who tried to pressure the vice president into unlawfully overturning the election, who then instructed people to storm the Capitol, who condoned them saying, hang the vice president, who literally tried to undermine a free election. That's got nothing to do with the country. That country's fine. That's just patriotism. But execute a lawfully procured search warrant at somebody's home, and all of a sudden, the republic's in danger. All of a sudden, it's a coup. Forget politics. If you are saying those kinds of things, you lack so much objectivity. You lack such a capacity for logical thought that not only should you not be on TV, you should probably be examined to see what your IQ is. And you should probably be disregarded all the time as any kind of, forget thinker. I wouldn't listen to you about your opinion on a McDonald's franchise and the service at the drive-thru. I wouldn't listen to you about the comfort of a couch. I wouldn't listen to you about what day it is, because you're that subpar and unintellectual and that deficient mentally that you can't observe your own hypocrisy and how ridiculous and stupid. I'm sorry, but objectively, this isn't hyperbole. They're stupid. They're stupid. Because if you can't see that and you say that in public, on camera, you're stupid. Dumb. Not smart. Stupid. And if you're a person out there who believes that, I'll give you one chance. Rethink it. If you see the hypocrisy and the lack of logic, then okay. You still have some semblance of human thought. If you don't, go sit in the corner. You're not smart. You let the emotions get the best of you. Your brain's not working. Get away from me. Get away from me. And then they bring up this Hunter Biden thing. Let me tell you something. If Hunter Biden has done anything illegal, he should be arrested and charged. I am for that. Anybody who does anything illegal should be investigated and charged and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. If Hunter Biden did something wrong, prosecute him. If the president currently, President Biden, did something wrong, impeach him and then prosecute him. Anybody. I don't have the problem where I pick and choose who I say is immune from the law and who isn't. I say prosecute any wrongdoer, but you people, you're the ones who don't. If Donald Trump does it, he can do whatever he wants. If somebody else does it, prosecute him. If somebody else does something wrong, retaliate, search warrant them, arrest them, lock them up, lock her up. But if Trump does it, how dare you even look at him crooked? You know what that is, guys? That's a cult of personality. That's fascism. That's tyranny. It means you are so obsessed with one person that you're willing to skirt and bend the law to accommodate them and only them all the time. Congratulations, you're not a patriot. Congratulations, you are un-American. That's really all I'm going to say about it. I just can't stand it anymore, and I had to just get on the mic and say, now, we don't know if they actually found anything in his house. Now, if they didn't find anything and there was some question as to the probable cause, which just happened with the Justice Department coming out about the Breonna Taylor case, they're insinuating that the individuals who wrote the search warrant and submitted the affidavit in the Breonna Taylor case were willfully lying and therefore liable for violating her civil rights and therefore are going to be prosecuted, not the actual cops who were on the scene. The cops on the scene will not be prosecuted because they were acting in self-defense because they were fired upon and they didn't know that the search warrant, was an error. But the individuals who actually wrote the search warrant, they're going to be taken to task. If something comes out that the FBI agents and the individuals who participated in applying for the search warrant for Trump's estate were somehow lying willfully, then they should be prosecuted. Then it is a miscarriage of justice. But until then, executing a search warrant on somebody's home pursuant to the color of law and signed properly by a federal judge and reviewed properly through the chains of command in a law enforcement entity is not a coup or un-American or the end of the republic. But trying to overthrow an election and lying about it and trying to circumvent, trying to sow the seeds of unrest based on an absolute lie when we have a democracy that's fragile and needs our care is un-American and is a borderline coup. That's just me. This has nothing to do with politics. You could think it does. You could tell yourself, oh, this guy's just political. He's a partisan. No. Because plenty of people on the left will get mad at me too. I'm not a partisan. I'm just calling it like I see it, balls and strikes, and I couldn't sit by any longer and watch this nonsense fester. Stop it. Stop making fools of yourself on Fox News, Buck Sexton, all these dudes. Stop making a fool of yourself. Stop making a fool of yourself. Tucker. Yeah, I can't believe people watch these goons. Stop making a fool of yourself. You're making a fool of yourself. You look objectively stupid. Don't do it. That's really all I got to say, guys. It's hot as all heck. I hope everybody is out there staying cool as best you can. My prayers are with the individuals in Newark and Bloomfield, Belleville who were out without water for some time today. It's hot. It's supposed to cool off the next few days. I hope you're enjoying your August. I can't wait to be back post-Labor Day with more content for you with the return of the Logic and Larry podcast. Make sure you tune into Heart of the City podcast on Bobby Krill's YouTube channel. I am on there for an interview about kind of my story specifically pertaining to music. And I will be back, and be on the lookout for my album, Life's Legacy in a World Not for Everyone, 50 tracks of jazzy hip-hop and house and other things, which I am currently working on. It's in post-production, so we are getting there, folks. Have a blessed day, everybody. Have a nice weekend. Have a nice week. I'm just irked by inobjectivity. I have to call out the nonsense when I see it. It's not to be partisan. It's not to be facetious. And I was being a little facetious with the name calling, but at the end of the day, you got to wake up. I can't tolerate it anymore. So anyway, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Larry K signing out.